Hello there and welcome to the weekend. It is the 14th day of July 2023. Now 2 days after the protest on Wednesday, but the reactions are still taking center stage. We've got stories on that and so much more. But first, here are our top stories. Tonight on Lookup Weekend.
Maandamano haiwezi tena kufanyika katika hii taifa letu la Kenya. Hiyo wanasema Wednesday. Hiyo wanasema sijui lini. Hiyo maandamano haiwezekani.
No more opposition protests, President William Ruto declares, as Azimio says demonstrations will be held on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday next week. Court sets free 4 suspects charged in the 3.5 billion shillings Anglo leasing scandal.
Cost is cost, and this cost, public information.
And the journey to affordable housing begins as the government sets aside 73 billion shillings for the project. This is Look Up Weekend. I am Nancy Nalima. Our sign language interpreter for tonight is Felista Adundo. Do stay with us as we bring you up to speed with the latest and catch this live stream across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv, on Twitter, on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. Let's begin. Well, Odinga-led Azimio coalition has said the anti-government demonstrations will go on for 3 days next week. In a statement, Azimio said due to requests from all sectors, the peaceful protests will be held on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And returned in our reports.
The standoff between the opposition and President Ruto's regime continues to grow stronger without a clear indication when the two will put their differences aside for the sake of the nation. In a statement to Newsroom, Azimio has told President Ruto to prepare for more protests. The coalition has announced it has increased its weekly demonstrations against the government to 3 days a week. Odinga's team says it will be holding demonstrations on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays starting from next week.
Na tunauliza hii mambo yote ya kupamba vita kwa Wakenya ikome. Kodi yetu sio ya kutuua, iwe ni ya kutuangalia. Na hii mambo tunatetea. Hatuwezi lipa kodi, Ruto na wenzake wakule pesa yetu, mwenye ndege, mwenye helikopta asilipe kodi, na wewe na kamshahara yako kidogo, hata huna pesa ya kutosha ya unga, wewe ulipe kodi.
Odinga and his troop continue to blame President Ruto's administration for ignoring their demands, especially on reconstitution of the IEBC and the prevailing high cost of living. Azimio now says weekly demonstrations will only stop if the government commits to discussing ways of addressing their demands.
We believe in peaceful demonstrations. Wale waliharibu ni wale wanakuja kupiga watu risasi. Pale Mlolongo, kiini cha mambo yote hayo ni kwamba kijana anaitwa Dennis alikuwa kwa pikipiki, alipigwa risasi.
Wednesday demonstrations were perhaps the ugliest in recent past, with scenes of demonstrators who embarked on destruction of properties still fresh. Opposition and government have been at loggerheads ever since, each side blaming the other for chaos that erupted.
Ya kushangaza, askari anapima na kushoot mtu kwa kifua karibu na roho. Wale hawakufariki, ni bahati ya Mungu, risasi ikatokea badala ya kundunga moyo.
The killing of the demonstrators has now caught the eye of the United Nations Human Rights Defender. The UN Human Rights Office, in a statement, says it is very concerned by the widespread violence and allegations of use of disproportionate force by the police on demonstrators. The office notes that 23 Kenyans have so far died in the protest and has called for speedy investigations to nail the culprits. The UN Rights Office has additionally called on police to ensure opposition protesters are accorded security next week. The office has furthermore appealed to President Ruto and Odinga to put aside their differences and find a solution to the stalemate in the country. Other stakeholders have also weighed in on the matter. The Association of Bishops and the Muslim Council now want the two leaders to have the interest of the country at heart and have a dialogue on how to end their differences. Henry Tende, Look Up TV.
Thank you, Tende, for that report. Now, Interior CS Kindiki has strongly warned Azimio leaders and supporters over the planned anti-government protest. Speaking in Narok County during a peace meeting for the Transmara security agenda, Kindiki has also warned the bandits, stating that he will use all his power to deal with the criminals and bandits in the region.
Speaking during the Transmara security meeting in Narok County, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kindiki has strongly condemned the planned anti-government protest scheduled to kick off next week, saying that lawlessness will not be allowed in this country.
Your rights end where my rights start. Haki zako zinaishia mahali haki zangu zinaanzia. Hiyo Jumatano ambao watu wamesema wa Ijumaa wamesema watatoka waende wakaribu mali tena, wajaribu to riot, to loot, to destroy.
Kindiki has termed the anti-government protests as unlawful, illegal and unconstitutional, and the government is ready to deal with all those involved in the destruction of property, killings and theft accordingly.
Ule ako na silaha ambaye anataka kutumia ajaribu. Na I want to assure you, you do not have more firearms and more weapons than the government of Kenya. Hiyo bunduki moja ambayo si halali umeficha hapo na mishale 3. Tutapambana na nyinyi, wewe na hiyo bunduki yako 2-3 na silaha yote na bunduki na risasi na chochote ambacho tuko nacho cha kulinda wananchi wa Kenya, tujue kama ni wewe ama ni serikali iko na silaha zaidi.
In addition, the Azimio coalition has been advised to use proper appropriate measures to demonstrate instead of bringing the country into a stop through unlawful demonstrations and causing political instability in the country.
Katiba ya Kenya, na hakuna mtu anajua katiba kutuliko. So tuambie Kiingereza mingi. Saa 11 asubuhi hata mkutano jaanza, wamama wameanza kuporwa, wa vijana wameanza kudungwa visu, wameingia maduka ya watu, unaingia butchery, unachukua nyama unakula. Sasa ukikula nyama ya mtu ambaye ni hustler, anatafutia watoto wake, amechinja. Tuacheni upuzi watu wetu. Ukifunga barabara ambayo iko mpaka na ambulance ya kupeleka hospitali, kama hiyo siku mgonjwa mmoja amekufa barabarani kwa sababu barabara imefungwa na wakora.
With his words of affirmation, the Azimio leaders have continued to emphasize that they will continue to carry on with the protest until the Kenya Kwanza government is held accountable.
Wakijizingisia ati ni haki ya kuandamana kama wale watu wa Friday, na hata wale watu wameleta maafa hapa. So mimi sitaki kuongea kuzidi hapa.
Uwari Mukimani, Lookuptv.
And in the corridors of justice, suspects acquitted businessman Deepak Kamani and 3 others have been acquitted of all charges in the 3.5 billion shillings Anglo leasing scandal. Kamani had been charged alongside Rashmi Kamani and former principal secretaries Joseph Magari and Dave Mwangi. In acquittal, the 4, Magistrate Martha Mutuku said the prosecution has failed to prove the charges against the 4. They were facing charges of conspiring to defraud the government of 3.5 billion shillings in 2004 in a modernization project of the police security equipment and accessories. Now, President William Ruto and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, speaking on different occasions, have called for the end of the Azimio demonstrations across the country, as witnessed on Wednesday. The president, who spoke during the inspection of Jambini-Naivasha Road, said the demonstrations led by Azimio coalition are costly due to their destructive nature. Gachagua, on his part, called on Raila Odinga to resign from politics.
Political muscles between two rival factions, the government and the opposition, have continued to manifest in the country, destabilizing the country even further.
Na ndio mimi nataka niwaambie, mimi nawashukuru wakulima wa taifa letu la Kenya. Ukitembea kila mahali katika Kenya, utaona vile wakulima wamefanya bidii, kwa sababu tulisaidiana na wao tukawapatia mbolea. Mungu akatujalia mvua. Mwaka huu tutakuwa na chakula ambayo haijawahi kuonekana Kenya. Na tunangojea tu miezi miwili tutoe chakula shambani, tuendelee na taifa letu la Kenya. Tuko pamoja jameni? Wengine wanataka kutufanyia maandamano hapa. Watu mali kiasi gani inapaswa kuharibika? Maafa kiasi gani inafaa kuwa imefanyika? That we will not accept. Ama namna gani? Tunaelewana jameni? Nyinyi mnasema tupange maendeleo ama mnataka tuingizwe kwa hii maandamano jameni, watu wa Kinamba? Tufanye maendeleo. Hebu nione wala wanasema tuendelee na maendeleo. Tuko pamoja? Na hapo ndio nimekwama.
Sentiments that have been reiterated by Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, accompanying the head of state as he pointed an accusing finger towards the President Emeritus Uhuru Kenyatta, whom he says is collaborating behind the scenes with Raila Odinga to orchestrate a government coup as a key financier of the nationwide mass action.
Na ndio wameona sababu tuliwashinda kwa akili ya mpango wa kazi. Tuliwashinda kwa kura. Sasa wameona ile kitu rahisi wanaweza fanya ni kujifanya ni maandamano, lakini ni mapinduzi ya serikali wanapanga. Na mimi nataka niseme ukweli vile ulivyo. Niseme nisiseme? Juge. Mimi nataka niwaambie, mnakumbuka 1982 August tarehe 1 ndio Raila Odinga na wengine walijaribu kupindua serikali ya Nyayo. Hiyo mipango ndio Raila Odinga na Uhuru Kenyatta wamepanga safari hii.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, while launching the agricultural show, weighed in on the matter, calling on Raila Odinga to resign from politics.
We want to advise you from Nakuru. Can you take a break, call yourself for a small meeting, and try to analyze why the people of Kenya have rejected you a record 5 times? And ask yourself, what is it that you can offer the people of Kenya other than death and destruction?
The Deputy President has issued a stern warning to those leading the demonstrations, saying the government was willing to take on them and ensure there is no damage on the economy and prevent harm on Kenyans. He has warned the gullible Kenyans against being used by politicians to cause mayhem, saying the law will catch up on them and consequences will be faced by the individuals.
As a government, we have said enough is enough. Raila Odinga hatakubaliwa tena under any arrangement again to cause violence, to create deaths, to destroy property. It will not happen. He will not be allowed to do that again. We have a responsibility as a government to protect life and property. Ningetaka kukuambia Bwana Kitendawili nikiwa hapa Nakuru, wacha mambo ya kuletwa kwa serikali. Hata kuongea na wewe hatuna nafasi. We are busy serving the people of Kenya.
The Azimio team is, however, holding on their earlier stand that the protests will continue this coming week. Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
This is Lookup Weekend, taking a very short break. There's so much more on the other side. Don't go too far.
The future is hands-on, and Sensei College is at the front line of technical institutes in Kenya, offering practical and skill-based courses accredited by all concerned bodies, TVETA, NTSA and NITA. Sensei College offers driving and plant operator, cosmetology, fashion and design, mechanics, hydroponics and irrigation, installation, building construction, hospitality, photography and video production, electrical and electronics repairs, and ICT courses. Get free plant operator training when you enroll for plant mechanics, free driving when you enroll for motor vehicle mechanics, and free riding when you enroll for motorcycle mechanics. The requirement is an ID only, with intakes every first week of the month. We have 2 campuses in Nakuru and Nairobi. We provide meals and accommodation. Sensei College. My skills, my future.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with Lookuptv. Nancy Nalima here and Felista Adundo on the sign language interpretation. Now, a terror attack in Wardad and Irisuke in Mandera South has left 3 people dead, 2 police officers and a teacher. The 2 a.m. incident that led to the destruction of a Safaricom postmast killed. The incident comes days after the residents were assured of their security. This is one of the many attacks that have been carried out in the region this month by the Al-Shabaab militia. And the Nakuru County government has today launched Agricultural Society. Both small-scale and large-scale farmers had a chance to see and learn from various technology and innovation. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua reiterated the government's commitment to improve the agricultural sector.
Exhibitors are worldwide science.
Speaking during the launching of ASEK show, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua reiterated the government's commitment in strengthening the agriculture sector and boost the income for farmers through production, value addition, and agro-processing.
Some of our priority areas of focus include enhancing productivity in the edible oils, rice, cotton, tea, coffee, pyrethrum, beef, leather, and the dairy value chains. Increased production is one of the ways of reducing the cost of living in the long term, while cutting down expenditure in imports. For instance, our investment in cotton will reduce fabric importation by 50% and increase export to 150 billion Kenya shillings by the year 2027.
The Deputy President also added the government's plan to use technology and innovation to boost yield for small-scale farmers.
Moreover, the event has
The Deputy President reiterated the importance of increasing production, saying it is one way the government to reduce the cost of living.
Plans are underway for establishment of a common user facility at Dogo Kudu Special Economic Zone in Mombasa County. Furthermore, we are increasing coffee productivity from 2 kg to an average of 25 kg per coffee tree by the year 2027 under the coffee revitalization program as we modernize 72 factories across the country. As part of our commitment to putting more money into the pocket of the farmer, we are carrying out radical reforms in the tea, coffee, and dairy subsectors. We have already held separate consultations with key stakeholders in the coffee and tea subsectors for inclusive and sustainable reforms. Plans for the dairy subsector stakeholders summit to be held here in the city of Nakuru are underway.
Achima Tumona, Lookuptv.
The Health Ministry Principal Secretary Harry Kimutai presided over the launch of the third Cancer Control Strategy 2023 to 2028 by the National Cancer Control Program under the Health Ministry at Afya House. The PA said the strategy, which has 5 key areas, is tied around key areas of monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning, and will see a formidable foundation for high-quality care in line with the World Health Organization that will improve structured cancer quality and enhance capacity development for cancer information, monitoring and evaluation in line with the government's agenda. PS Harry Kimutai says the Ministry of Health has managed to reach out of 58% cervical cancer screening across the country.
Who have been engaged throughout this process. It will continue. National Cancer Institute of Kenya representative members be won by one entity alone.
And the representative of council.
It is a privilege and honor to stand before you today on this vital moment as we launch our country's third National Cancer Control Strategic Plan. On this occasion, we demand provision of a core set of essential integrated health services, including cancer screening and early detection. Already, we have put in place mechanisms for multi-sectoral action, enabling and empowering people and communities to take charge of their health. Women and more than 40,000 women countrywide in that month alone. Again, during the National Cancer Summit, we were able to convene a multi-sectoral team of stakeholders to discuss the cancer issues. During the World Cancer Day on 4th February 2023, I launched the Garissa Regional Cancer Center, the first in the northern region of the country, through collaboration between the Ministry of the national government, through the Ministry of Health, and the county government of Garissa.
We know the burden of cancer in this country is huge, like in the global arena, and the ministry continues to prioritize cancer amongst the other NCDs, including the metabolic disorders like diabetes mellitus and cardiovascular diseases, which form the largest bulk of the NCDs, not forgetting the rising burden of mental health. And cancer is a priority for us because of 3 reasons. 1, the number of cancer cases in this country is on an upward trajectory.
We have now officially announced the strategic national cancer.
And away from that, the housing levy will contribute a whopping 73 billion shillings towards the affordable housing scheme that has continued to generate heat across the country. The funds, according to the government, will assist the country achieve over 200,000 housing units every year and assist address the current shortage of houses in the country. This scheme, as the rising cost of steel and cement, were identified as some of the emerging challenges facing the multi-billion scheme. According to the PS for Housing, Charles Hinger, the enactment of the housing levy into law was a game changer in the project that seeks to increase the number of houses in the country.
The biggest cost is what? Cement and steel. So if we don't do anything on those two, we will not be able to tackle the issue of affordability. So we are constantly working on that end. This week, we have about 29 projects that we are awarding. First 29 projects which are what we are calling constituency-based housing. So these are about 200 units per constituency. So that group that is sitting in there, they're not just talking abstract issues. We are looking at, there is a site at Karachonyo, okay? This site is going to need so many masons, is going to need so many plumbers, is going to need so many people. That is what is going out there.
David Jomeli, the technical director, Kenya Federation of Masters Building, has admitted that the soaring prices of construction materials could have some effects on the scheme. Jomeli, however, applauded the move of the government to involve students from TVET institutions in the construction of houses, creating over 1 million job opportunities.
It will contribute to employment of so many young people who are graduating from the technical and vocational institutes, but also the engineers and architects, quantity surveyors who are graduating from our local universities. In terms of the technical and vocational training institutions, yes, they are giving us graduates who have done diplomas and artisanal courses, even from NITA. But when you look at them on the ground, when they are working on the ground, you find that there's a lot of skill gaps in terms of practical experience.
The government will now engage enablers like Kenya Power, Ministry of Roads, Water and other key sectors to see the project succeed. Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
The construction sites as being a place where they can do the dual practical training. So they have the academic, which they're doing in the class, and then the practical part they're going to be doing on site. So the government should also invest in manufacturing, foreign direct investment in the manufacturing sector, and encourage investors to.
And we're taking another very short break here on the program, but when we come back, we'll be taking some sporting action.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Karibu mtazamaji kwenye kipindi cha jamii na itikadi.
Kaini kitako tuna mengi.
Mapenzi yanapoanza watu huitana bebi na majina mengine matamu, lakini baadaye penzi linapogeuka na kuwa shubiri,
mtu anafikia kwenda kumtafuta mke mwingine.
Itakuwaje?
Yule wa kwake nyumbani labda hajamridhisha.
Ni sawa ama vipi Maliki?
Dadangu, wanaume ni kama maembe.
Huyu ni mwanamume atakuja abadiliki.
Mwanaume mwenye wanawake wengi hata katika uchumba, kwenye ndoa ataendelea. Mtu na tabia yake hawachi. Ile umbo la kike likishaanza, kila kitu kishaanza kuwa mahali pake.
Ningependa kukuona.
Sijaenda mahali ambapo mimi nilisikia mtu ati huyu alikuwa shujaa, alikufa katika mstari wa mbele wa ndoa. Sijawahi sikia mimi.
Welcome back. This is Look Up Weekend. The Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, Jacob Narengo, introduced a new approach called an Asulo Declaration aiming to curb cattle rustling in the northern Kenya region. The Chief of Programs at the Northern Rangelands Trust, Dr. Issa Gedi, said that the government and other peace actors, including the NRT, had engaged elders only to deal with cattle rustlers and that it's time to take matters into their own hands.
A two-day peace meeting seems to be bearing fruits. And if at all the agreed upon initiatives will be taken seriously, then insecurities in the north will be a thing of the past. Speaking during the event, Jacob Narengo called for mutual respect among all the communities and urged them to work together and seek permission from host community members before grazing in their areas.
Hii kongamano imekuwa organized na NRT ambaye ni hapa Nasulu. Lazima viongozi wakiambatana na machifu wao wanaenda kwa ile jamii nyingine ambayo iko na pasture ya kutosha, waombe hiyo jamii kwamba sisi tumekumbwa na kiangazi huko, tungeomba tukuje kwenyu, na hiyo jamii pia watakuwa na vikao vyao ambaye watapitisha kwa kauli moja kwamba tumeruhusu jamii hii kuja kujumuika na sisi ama kwa neighbors wetu.
The government and other peace actors, including NRT, had engaged elders only in various peace-building initiatives, a situation that had not borne much fruits.
Unajua sasa wale wanahusika ni morans, sio wazee. Wazee tunaleta kwa sababu there is that respect ambaye lazima vijana wasikie maneno ya wazee. Lakini sasa tumeamua kuhusisha wamama, vijana or morans kwa sababu these are the watu ambayo wanajihusisha on 24/7 basis na hii maneno katika njia moja ama nyingine.
Morans from the various communities who attended the meeting expressed optimism that the new approach of bringing together Morans to dialogue with their colleagues from other communities will finally bear fruits and bring lasting peace in the troubled region. Faith Bonareri, Lookuptv.
Now, the business community in Naivasha is counting losses after the recent demonstrations in the country, the most affected being the floriculture, tourism and fisheries industries, which are said to be one of the largest revenue dependents in the country. The farmers now want the government to put a stop to the demonstrations, with other groups joining in to condemn the destruction of property and deaths witnessed in the recent demos.
The recent protests witnessed across the country have proven to be a bane to the business community. Many business people counting losses as the Azimio coalition threatens to continue with the demonstrations. In Naivasha, the floriculture, tourism and fisheries industries have been greatly affected, and now the players in these sectors are calling for a voice of reasoning, noting that the Wednesday demonstrations caused losses running into millions of shillings.
Wakati wote kunatajwa kuna maandamano, Naivasha inakaa kama kitu huwezi kutaka kuiona, sababu inageuza sura. Economy ya Naivasha inarudi chini. Saa hii Naivasha, ile pesa ilipotea Naivasha, ile unasikia 3 billion. Ningedhania kutoka Nairobi, ile pesa ilipotea ya pili ni Naivasha.
The clergy, business and political leaders in Naivasha have joined the bandwagon of condemning the witness protest and deaths.
Hatutakubali kama wananchi pesa yetu ambaye tumetoa kodi iwe ni ya kuchoma barabara, hiyo hatutakubali. Iwe ni ya kuharibu manyumba ya wenyewe, hiyo hatutakubali. Iwe ni ya kuchoma magari ya wenyewe, hiyo hatutakubali. Tunataka kuambia Honorable Raila Odinga aangalie yeye mwenyewe, asichukue wananchi wamsaidie kupindua serikali. Kama ni serikali anataka kupindua, ajue sisi hatuko.
Flowers and fish worth millions of shillings are said to have gone to waste as transport on various roads were paralyzed. They have argued that Naivasha was home to tens of flower farms, adding that the continuous demonstrations spelled doom for hundreds of flower farm workers. The chairman of Naivasha Matatu Sacco, Samuel Ndogi, has called on the opposition leaders to stop misusing innocent youths in their fight for power. As the call for peace intensifies, Azimio announced that it will continue with the protest this coming week for 3 days. Kevin Nyapara, Lookuptv.
Time now to get sporty. Reigning champions in secondary school games, Moi Mbiruri advanced to the semi-finals in football after thrashing Chicago Secondary School 1-0. According to the head coach Alfredo Guta, they aim to retain their championship after securing 2 wins. The games are used to prepare schools for the last Africa Games scheduled for later this year.
Naweza sema kwa michezo za hii mwaka tumejaribu sana kutoka kwa sub county and zonals. Zonals hakuna timu yote ilitupiga, hatukupoteza game yoyote. Tena kwa sub county tumecheza vizuri, tulienda unbeaten conceding only 1 goal, na ndio maana leo siku ya leo tuko hapa. Na tunataka kusema tunashukuru Mungu juu kwa sababu lengo yetu si ya county. Sisi ni timu tunajiamini, na naona vijana wangu wako sawa, wamepiga zoezi ya kutosha, na tunaona tukiendelea hivi tunaweza enda mbali sana.
Mercy Chepkemboi, an archery player from Irene Limika Foundation, has urged ladies to participate in the sport of archery. Mercy was set to travel to the United States to further her education, as well as gain skills in the sport, encourage the government and various stakeholders to invest in the sport, since it will help curb cattle rustling and female genital mutilation.
The future for ladies like me, I was rescued through archery, through Irene. I'm seeing my future is going far, not only in terms of Olympic Games, but also in training and also in educational. I was affected by the educational. Our community is affected by poverty, female mutilation, and cultural rustling. There is no time for studying. Sometimes it is giving us fear to go to school because it's not safe. But archery is chipping in to promote girls to use this sport not only in home, not to participate in those activities, but to train them to receive education just the way I received.
The future of ladies participating in archery sport is very bright, because right now they are turning out in numbers. Before, they used to be scared because they think, because of cultural thing, they think it is only men who can play the archery. But now they have realized that even ladies can play better than men even. So the numbers are coming out. So if we train them well, give them the right support, I'm very sure that in the near future we will have world champions for our ladies archers in the world.
Kwa kweli hii mchezo utasaidia wasichana wengine, kwa maana watu wa kijiji zetu wanatumia sana mshale kuua watu, lakini saa hii wakiendelea hivi wataendelea kuona mengi mbele, na tena wasichana wataerefuka, hata wafanya kutairiwa tena.
Now, the national boxing team Hit Squad will tomorrow start a non-residential camp at the VMX Gym, the Village Market, Nairobi, to prepare for the first African Men's and Women's Championships that will be held from July 25th to August 6th in Yaoundé, Cameroon. The camp comes after the Boxing Federation of Kenya held a national qualifier for the African Olympic qualifiers that will be held in Dakar, Senegal later this year. The national qualifiers were held at Charter Hall, Nairobi over the weekend, where the national team coaches led by Benjamin Musa selected a provincial squad.
tunaendelea na mazoezi, tunajitayarisha kwa mashindano ya ubingwa wa Afrika ambao mwaka jana ilifanyika.
Sikia tunaenda hii game, tunashukuru Mungu sana kwa sababu this is like a build up for qualifiers which is on September.
Na believe dream yangu bado sijai itoa kwa sababu silver niko nayo, bronze niko nayo, gold ndio sasa kwa medals zangu zenye sina. Na believe nitarudi nayo, but nasemaga mimi play my part, but the rest naachia God.
And the Under-20 World Rugby Tournament is set to kick off tomorrow at Nyayo National Stadium. Kenya's national team will start its first campaign against Samoa. Various teams arrived in the country ahead of the tournament, which will run from the 15th to 30th of this month.
Come closer, come closer, come closer, come closer. Kuda, kuda, kuda. Karibia Johnny. Hey, yes,
And we come to the end of the broadcast this evening. But remember, as we usher in the weekend, tomorrow being Saturday, Safuya Sporty will be coming away with a very seasoned sports reporter, Robert Chacha, popularly known as RC. He will be having a list of discussions, and top among them, the World Under-20 Tournament, the rugby championship that will be held as from tomorrow to the 30th of this month at the Nyayo National Stadium. So that will be coming your way, so you can save the date and save the time as well. Quincy Akado across Facebook says he is watching from Nairobi, and we appreciate your feedback. Let's keep the conversation going across all our social media platforms. Lookuptv on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you for watching. I am Nancy Nalimo. Our sign language interpreter for tonight has been Felista Adundo. And of course, for more updates, www.lookuptv.co.ke is where you can catch the latest. For now, it's good night.